stand by. They're on set, quiet on set. Speed, camera.
Oh, wait a minute, that's out of date, isn't it? They don't say that anymore, do they?
Bruce is doing a little behind the scenes thing, which I'll explain. So welcome everybody to Boston Media Makers. This is the kickoff of the 5th year of Boston Media Makers, which I don't know how that happened. The years go by. And it's 2010, so I'm going to keep saying that, 2010, you can have that. So thanks to Doyle's for hosting us. They let us use this room for free, and we appreciate it. Once I'm done speaking, the server will come through and take orders for whatever you want, and everybody pays for their own at the end, and then we leave a nice tip to compensate, the waitress and take care of her. So just to see how many people, by a show of hands, are new this month? Okay, great, welcome. So I'll take an opportunity to explain to you how this thing all started. So I go to a lot of conferences, and at some point during the conference they'll have it open for question and answer. And someone will stand up and say, hi, so-and-so, I run films for HBO. And I'm thinking, whoa, that guy sounds interesting. I want to go see him later and maybe meet with him. And then I think, there are 250 other people at the same conference as me, and I don't know who they are. So I was trying to think of a way where people could come to something and meet every other person in the room. So that's what we do. First we had a little mingling, and now between 10:30 and noon, we'll go around the table, and I have a 3-minute time limit. I set a little timer, and you talk about who you are, what you're doing. People might have a question. Some people come here with a prepared show and tell, maybe show a new product or something. And today, since it's New Year's, if anyone has a resolution they'd like to share, or 3 words that they're focusing on via Chris Brogan, feel free to do that. So that's what Boston Media Makers is all about. Some people who've come here over the years have moved away, and they've gone to their new cities and started Media Makers there, or they live in New Hampshire and they started them there. So we have New Hampshire Media Makers, and we have Washington DC Media Makers. And if Bruce wants to come around from the camera and talk about his new group, Southern New England Media Makers, you can do that.
Hi everybody, this is how you do a self-interview, I guess.
Exactly.
Well, I'm relatively new to Boston Media Makers, and I've only been coming here maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 months now, and meeting all of you people. I'm very excited every month. It's something that I look forward to. Connecting with Steve, connecting with Jocelyn Main, connecting with Jeff Cutler, and the names go on and on and on. These are the gurus in Boston that started Boston Media Makers with Steve's lead, and it's just phenomenal, the technology, the expertise, and everything that they have. I live down in Attleboro. We live down further south, along with my friend Jim Jones from Media Disconnect in the corner there. And we usually come up to Boston together, and we started thinking about, well, gee, wouldn't it be cool to bring this down south? And then come to find out, as Steve said, they have one in Washington, D.C., New Hampshire, possibly New York, I'm not sure. Let's start one in Southern New England. So I talked to Steve about it, he blessed it. I didn't want to go, of course, around anybody's back and do anything out of the ordinary.
This being the Church of New Media, I blessed it. So, I guess.
Go for
I was tweeting from church the other day, and everyone said that was blasphemous, so I might as well bless this too.
So we said, well, gee, what do we want to do? Do we want to start a group in Attleboro? We said, no, we want to kind of make it a little bit larger than that. Let's make it Southern New England. So what our goal is to bring the same format that Steve has brought here to Boston, to bring it down to Southern New England. Our first meeting is going to be held on January 10th, next weekend. We're going to follow the same format where we'll meet every second Sunday of every month. Our first meeting is going to be held at the Taza Cafe in Providence, and our goal is to bring in Southern Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Northern Connecticut people to that meeting. If anybody lives south of Boston on a day like today and you can't make Boston, or if you can make Boston and you want more of the same, we welcome all of you to come down and join us on the second Sunday of every month to have more connect. Somebody was asking me, this gentleman was asking me earlier this morning, what would you wrap media makers, these groups that have media makers, how would you wrap that up? What's your essence? What's the goal of media makers? And I said, just to connect people with similar interests. It's almost like a tweet up, I guess. And Steve can elaborate that on that a little bit more, but my quick and dirty definition is just connecting people with similar interests. And learn from each other. What are you doing now? What technology are you doing now? Which service are you using now to get your message out there? Whether it be your personal message, or whether it be a product that you're trying to highlight, or whatever the case may be. So, short and sweet. We have a website. The hashtag for it on Twitter is Southern New England Media Makers, SNEMM. And we have a WordPress site called snemm.wordpress.com. So please check that out. If you can help us get the word out throughout New England, coming from you, all of you here in Boston, if you can start twittering out the hashtag SNEMM, I'm sure you'll help us spread the word down south, and we appreciate all your help. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Very good. Cut. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.